Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you had a really great weekend. So last week we started the week right here, just a little bit above this election gap. And I actually have the entire month of November up on the screen, November starting right here. So let's do a quick recap. Before the election, we were trading down. Then we did see an up gap after the election, a push up, and then the following day, another gap up, and then a push to make new all-time highs. And then the next week, we had inflation data. We had CPI and PPI, which did give us a gap down that week. We traded down and we closed underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average. And then that is where we opened last Monday. So we opened Monday with a pop up to the 35 EMA, and then we did see resistance there. The next day we gapped down, bounced on the 1 hour 200 moving average, which is also where we saw support right here. Let me extend this 1 hour 200 moving average over here. Okay, so 1 hour 200 moving average is where we bounced on Tuesday. We came up into this island top right here, which is the up gap from election week, the down gap from inflation week, and we did get pushed back out of that, and then we dropped back down on Wednesday, bounced again on the 1 hour 200 moving average. And actually, since we kept bouncing on that 1 hour 200 moving average, I'm going to take it to the 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour time frame right here, you could see the bounce on that 1 hour 200 moving average with the up gap after the election. So then if you looked down, we did get a green signal line on Tuesday, and that did play out into the rest of the week. So we bounced after that one more time, and then we came up and we filled this island top. So this was actually with NVIDIA earnings. We closed out this. And then that takes us to Friday. Friday, we actually had a very choppy day, and sorry to keep switching time frames here, but I'm going to drop it down to the 5-minute time frame just to show how choppy the price action was intraday. So we started flat, took it up, back down, up, down, and then we closed up 0.31%. So that was about halfway up. The implied move is as far as we got on Friday. So interesting trading week. So 1 hour 200 moving average is where we did see support along with that election gap. And then of course we chopped around that 30-minute 200 moving average. If you were watching the 35 EMA, it never dropped underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average, which was also a bullish signal. I was mentioning that all last week. And then Friday we had that choppy sideways but still up day. And SPX, same thing over here. We opened right at that gap, and the 1 hour 200 moving average on Monday took it up to the 35 EMA. Saw that as resistance on Monday. Gap down Tuesday, bounced on the 1 hour 200 moving average, tried to get into this gap right here, filled a little bit of it and got pushed back down. Bounced again, 1 hour 200 moving average. This 35 EMA was almost a perfect bounce. It actually did take it all the way down right here. I'll take out price for just a second. You can see that technical bounce where we saw that push into the end of the week and bringing price back in. So this right here was NVIDIA earnings, where we did see that pop up to close out this island top, which did crush the resistance. It was a really smart play for the bulls. We did get pushed back down, and then we saw that bounce right here. And Friday, choppy sideways day, and we did resume the bullish moving averages here, and you could see that we also had a green signal line down here on Friday. SPY did close up 0.31%, PX up 0.35%, VIX got crushed pretty good, down 9.61%, and we did stay completely within the implied move on Friday, and we are just a little ways away from all-time highs. All right, and QQQ. Let's go over the month here as well. November starts right here. This was before the election. We were trading down underneath the 35 EMA. We definitely had some red candles over here. Election right here, we gapped up, and we gapped up above this down gap from the previous week and also this up gap right here. And I'll show you why that's important in just a minute. So election right here, gap up, push up. That next day, gap up, push up, make new all-time highs. And then that takes us to inflation data week where we had CPI, PPI, and then a gap down. So that took us in between two island gaps, this one down here which had 3 layers, this one right here that had 2 layers, and then we dropped down. This was on Friday, not last Friday, but the one before that. We're still setting up to where last week started. So we dropped down into the election gap right here. We closed out this right here. This down gap right here, we filled that part, and then we bounced on the top of where all 3 of those gaps met. Really interesting place to bounce, and we got back above the 1 hour 200 moving average. Then that became support. We brought it into this gap. This was with NVIDIA earnings, but in QQQ, we did not close out this island top gap. We got into it about halfway up, or halfway in the middle of this one, I should say. So they were overlapping right here, the bear gap and the bull gap, and we got halfway in the middle of where they overlapped before getting pushed back out. And that 1 hour 200 moving average was our support. We bounced back up, got above the 30-minute 200 moving average, and stayed underneath this island top. So very flat day in QQQ on Friday. Closed up 0.16%, VXN down 8.11%, and we did stay completely within the implied move here. And IWM had a really big week last week. So we opened right here. The previous week we did get down into the election gap about halfway. And then so we opened Monday, came up to the 35 EMA, then we dropped down to the 1 hour 200 moving average. If you're paying attention, that 1 hour 200 moving average has been across the board an important level. So if you don't know what time frame to trade tomorrow, 1 hour time frame is a good bet, 30-minute time frame is a good bet, and the two of them together even better. So we bounced on that 1 hour 200 moving average, got back up to the 35 EMA right here, initially got pulled back a little bit, and then if you were looking down here, we got a bounce on the signal line in Stupid Willie, and we pushed up. It was beautiful. We saw a gap up on Thursday and a pop, and on Friday, same thing, gap up. We took it above the implied move at 238, and we took it just underneath the top of the implied move at 239. It looks like we closed a little bit above it. That is rounded out, and 239. So when we do that, there you go. So now we closed within 239, which was the top of the implied move. So if you did sell 238, 239 bear call spreads, those would have closed down. But if you did sell 239, 240, those would have closed up 100%, but there may not have been a ton of premium up there. So the way I trade would not have been worth it here tomorrow, but if you bought calls, those paid really well for you on Friday. So IWM closed up 1.85%, biggest winner of the day on Friday. That honestly is a huge move. And in my opinion, I think IWM is setting up to try and hit those all-time highs. RVX did close down 4.61%, and we did not close within Friday's implied move, but we did close within that next day's. And look at that from right here to right here, and following on the indicator below. That was a beautiful call by Stupid Willie. All right, and lastly, DIA. We opened the week right here in DIA. We had a really similar setup when we look at price and how it matches up with our indicator. We did get that green signal line right here, which was on Monday. And then Tuesday we gapped down. We hit that 30-minute 200 moving average. Initially that 35 EMA was resistance, but when that 35 EMA came down to the 30-minute 200 moving average without price, that looks like this. we saw that full pullback almost to the 30-minute 200 moving average, and then saw a technical bounce right here, and you could see that right here on the signal line below. And on Friday, we opened with a move to the top of the implied move and then a push higher. On Thursday's video, I did say that I thought we were going to come back down and close within the implied move, and we did not do that. We pushed higher, took it all the way to the top of the daily implied move, and then even higher, closing just short of all-time highs. DIA and IWM did have the biggest moves of the day and of the week, and DIA did close up 0.95%, and we did not stay within the implied move either for the week or on the day on Friday. But dang, that is really pretty when you look at the price movement and stupid Willie below. So we are overbought. Doesn't mean that we can't push up and hit those all-time highs, but let's see what happens. We could be nearing the end of this specific run right here. All right, so that was a recap of last week. Let's go check out tomorrow's levels. Alright guys, so it is Thanksgiving week, and just a heads up, the hours and times that I post might be a little off this week. Today I'm going to end this video here. It is already 2 hours before market open, and I don't have time to do the trading ranges in a video, but they are going to be out on TradingView this morning. So as soon as they're up and ready, I will have that in the first link. And right now I'm just going to go ahead and drop my main TradingView page. So if you do subscribe there, you'll get notified right away when I do post them. And if not, you'll be able to find them below in the pinned comment before we start trading today. So have fun today, trade safe, make sure you take profits when you're up, and I will see you guys later tonight.